Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. And as you can see, it's dawn. Sunrise is just happening over there in the east. I'm over here at the Opera House, and it's an overcast sort of morning, but it's a beautiful orange tinge that we have there on the horizon, welcoming in this new day, this beautiful day. You can hear the creaking of the jetty here at the Man of War steps, and it's just starting to sprinkle a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll just go on a walk and talk, and what I want to do is I want to cover a book summary entitled Get Out of Your Own Way by Dave Hollis. An interesting book entitled Getting Out of Your Own Way. So the author kicks off this book with a wonderful quote, and he says the following: in a changing world, you can't rely on how you were raised, or what you learned in the past, as it may make you obsolete. What each and every one of us need to do is we need to do the work to stay relevant and nimble, and we need to break out of the rut that we are bogged in, because the world is constantly changing. No 2 days are the same, no 2 sunrises are the same either, as we can see here. Sydney is a mistress, is a beautiful mistress, and she changes every single day. And I've been able to see this and express this and bring this to you from Jim's 5am Club, because every single morning the view across Sydney Harbour is different. Just like a mistress, you can never ever get tired of her, and that beauty continues to seduce regardless of what time you indulge and you engage in her. So the author here goes on to give us 3 key points about how we can get out of our way and make our lives a little bit better. So the key first point that the author makes is that we all need to understand and to appreciate that failure, that word failure, is normal and acceptable for the people who want to grow. Because the people who grow the most know that failure is part of the path, and they accept it and they embrace it. And the author then goes on to talk about the 2 different mindsets that govern how we deal with failure. There are people who have a fixed mindset and basically say, well, this is how it is, I can't change it, and just are fatalists. And there are those who have got a growth mindset, who see failure as a stepping stone, an opportunity to add to their experience and to grow and develop. So the author, of course, after highlighting these 2 different mindsets, implores us and encourages us to not have a fixed mindset, but to have a growth mindset where you see challenges, discomfort, and all of those other things as opportunities rather than threats. The author then goes on to talk about the importance of changing, and David Bowie, in that song Changes, reminds us that change is inevitable, but change is critical to our new identity and for us staying relevant. And he says that you can change and you must change in order to grow, develop and improve. You simply need to take chances and not play it too safe. This is something that my stockbroker always reminds me of. I used to have a futures broker many years ago who would always say to me, he says, James, if you're playing it too safe, that is more risky than being an all-in sort of risk-on player. Because playing it too safe creates more risks, and it's almost a surefire path to calamity and to catastrophe. It was his view. So he said that we need to take risks in our lives because the risks are the things that are rewarded. Risks are also penalised. You know, with the risk comes the reward, but also comes a significant penalty if you get it wrong. But the rewards, according to my broker, said that you get it right once and you make a massive return on your investment. So it's worth it. So we too, in our lives, need to appreciate and understand that we shouldn't be playing it too safe. There's a lot of people who I know are shit scared of everything and play it far too safe. And by playing it far too safe, they never get to do anything. They never get to experience anything because their fear is keeping them bogged down, and they're not able to basically grow and develop. And the author here takes the view and expresses the following, saying that we need to understand one thing, and once you understand that one thing, then you'll always feel comfortable. And that one thing that we need to understand is that failure is not permanent. Failure is only temporary for the people who've got a growth mindset. However, if you've got a fixed mindset, then failure may be permanent. So you just need to change your mindset and change the way you see things and think of things. What a beautiful, peaceful morning. So the author then, of course, reminds us that you can change your mindset. And the bottom line is that failure won't kill you. Failure won't kill you. You just got to understand that. What are you scared of? What are you worried of? You know, just look at what the worst case scenario is, and then convince yourself and understand that whatever that worst case scenario is, you've got Buckley's chances of it ever happening. And we need to break our social conditioning. Now, our parents, our grandparents, our uncles, our aunts, our teachers, our bosses, our peers, our siblings, a lot of people in our lives have helped us grow and develop, and we thank them for that contribution. But along the way, we've also had some people who have socially conditioned us in a negative way, which we need to break. We need to rinse, we need to clean, and we need to cut out of our lives. So the next call to action from this author is that we need to stop avoiding pain if you want to see your life improve. So what the author is saying here is that you need to welcome pain. You need to understand that pain is part of the formula. Pain and suffering is part of the stepping stone to greatness. And you can't avoid it, but you can embrace it, you can use it, you can leverage it, and you don't have to swim against the tide or against the flow, but you can swim across it and with it. Learn to use it, learn to incorporate it into your growth mindset, and to partner with pain and suffering and discomfort because they're the partners who are going to bend and stretch you and make you a better version of who you are. Because as the author says, anything worthwhile, this is a very, very powerful point, so please listen up. Anything worthwhile involves pain and suffering. Else everybody would have been able to achieve everything. The reason why most people never achieve the things that they want to achieve is because when it comes to the hump, when it comes to the pain and suffering, they all of a sudden realize that, maybe it's not what I want, because it's a little tougher than what they thought, and they give up. So we need to learn to know that there's pain and suffering coming, to embrace it and to push through it. And to push through it requires patience and perseverance, but also the maturity to know that life is going to have its ups and downs, but the ups and the downs and the ups are, as we said, temporary. They're momentary, they're fleeting. So don't put too much weight on them and cause them to, or give them the permission to slow you down and to steal your dreams. So the third point coming out of this book, and I'm just heading around the other side of the Opera House and back to the ferries, is that we need to break free of your limiting beliefs, the beliefs that limit us, that put a cold water or a cold shower on our dreams, because you're not going to reach your full potential if you're limiting yourself through your own belief systems. And the bottom line is that we all have limiting beliefs that hold us back and keep us down. Everybody has limiting beliefs, but some allow them to paralyze them and others use them to energize themselves. So, be careful that you're not setting boundaries where you don't need to set boundaries. Or try and push that boundary further away rather than keeping it closer to you. So that the power is in with you, is the message coming out of this. And the author then goes on to say that we must try wherever possible to shape our stories and not get stuck in our stories, our negative stories. I often hear people talking about their stories and they're just negative stories, and I just feel sorry, and I just want to say to them, you're allowed to say another story. You're allowed to voice another story. You're allowed to put another spin on that story that makes it positive and hopeful for you, as opposed to draining you and taking away from you your energy and your future. So the author then goes on to talk about the things that you need to help you to identify what those negative or limiting beliefs are. And a limiting belief is attached to the following saying: whenever you say to yourself, "I'll never," and then after that ask yourself, what will you never? So I'll never blah. Whatever it is, that whatever follows the I'll never is your limiting belief, which makes you feel comfortable. Because remember, when we feel comfortable, it's our enemy, because comfort is the sort of thing that is not going to allow you to bend and stretch yourself and do what you need to do in order to grow and develop and become the best version of yourself. So the bottom line from this book, from this lesson, is to be unsettled, love being unsettled and uncomfortable in order to grow, and to be like Maxwell Smart. whatever painful thing you're going through, whatever discomfort other people try to force upon you, just tell them. And loving it. Embrace it and make it part of yourself, because it's only when you embrace discomfort and pain and suffering that you redefine yourself. You change your identity. You embolden. You forge your new identity and your new character. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club. It's the 4th for the day. I'm on a roll. I'm on an absolute roll, and I can't wait to get on the ferry and do one more before I get over there to Piermont. So let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I'm well, I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable. And most importantly, let's make sure that we get out of our own way, as Dave Hollis reminds us, and to accept failure and to embrace failure and to have a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset, and not to play it too safe. Because at the end of the day, when you play it too safe, that's when you're playing it very, very risky, and you risk losing everything. So have a crack, have a go, and manage those risks. But it's only through living with risk that you get to experience the best things you can in your life. So let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I'm well, I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, and we'll chat again. Yassas from Jim's 5am Club on this Tuesday morning, where we've had an opportunity to see the sunrise. We've had an opportunity to see an orange sky, and we've had an opportunity to learn how to get out of our way. Bye for now, and we'll chat again. Yassas, we like ya.